Hey, you think with all the weapons at the back, you think I'm making a real nerd version of a Star War over here. Anyway, hey everybody, what's up? This is RetroKid Reviews. Not doing the weekend review for The Accountant 2, mainly because I got stuck cat sitting in my house, and more importantly, there was a 7 o'clock showing, and there was no way I was gonna catch up. Trust me, those little guys over there are very hungry, especially when you get to like a 6 p.m. kind of rotation. Anyway. IRL stuff aside, that's mainly the real reason why. So I'll probably come back around it for end of the year stuff when it gets on streaming. So sorry. I did wanted to make a quick double review of it anyway, so that might be the case coming up. So hey, at the very least, I get a double review that's actually themed again, almost like my Immortal Legends reviews. Speaking of which, yeah, let's get to Star Wars. And no joke, I absolutely wanted to do the Andor long walk into Rogue One. But due to my channel being my channel and me not having an editor, didn't have the time. But doesn't mean I could probably do in the shorts in the future, so who knows. So with all the prelude out of the way, let's get this started. My overall thoughts on the series finale. Wow, it's almost 1 a.m. here. You can tell the slurring's already beginning as far as, I guess, fatigue goes. But not as fatigued as Cassian was throughout the last couple of episodes. Speaking of, my overall thoughts on the Gorman speech, now that we have some time away from it from Mon Mothma, is really good. Even if you want to say, oh, drip the headlines kind of stuff, even in universe, you can just see like the dread, the horror, and the evil that Emperor Palpatine still had before the original trilogy kicked off. So there's still shades of that. If anything else, if anyone wants to make it more like a Star Wars, there's a argument there. Outside of that, let's get to it. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Elizabeth DeBluku, if I got her name right. I'm not really good with last names, in case you can tell. She played Kaylee Markey. Long story short, one of Luthen's assistants that's been prevalent throughout the whole series, and was the big focus of these last 3 episodes. Essentially, her first episode was basically trying to get Luthen out of the hospital from his bum rush, and finally almost getting captured by Dedra at the art dealership they used as like a cover to do rebellion signals all series long. And just the delivery from Skarsgård to Dedra's actor, my apologies, as always, I need to be down below, was amazing. Just the wordplay association, very old school Game of Thrones, as someone who's been watching this, kind of like political intrigue, kind of like dialogue. It's very nice in universe, very nice for the payoffs for everybody in between. And yeah, for Elizabeth doing Kayla in these episodes is the most heart-wrenching, because on top of that, the following episode you finally get like the heist of it, trying to get him out, but it wasn't a heist, it was a sacrifice, and you could tell it was. And it's the least amount of dialogue outside of the flashbacks with her and Luthen, explaining basically their whole deal throughout the entire series, and it is, to me, a good explanation to everything. I think, ironically, Rogue One was known to have the best de-aging, and turns out that's the same case too, with, ironically, living actors. In, Skarsgård's case, yes, Dylan did a great job doing, what looked to have been his moment for his character to finally defect from the Empire and finally do his own thing, kind of stuff, and it's actually not bad for what it is. The finale is insane. I haven't mentioned Alan Tudyk throughout all of this for his K2SO. He did get reprogrammed last time I did reviews for this, so go to that in the cards. But after that, all he's really doing is a little bit of back and forth with Andor and some guy I forgot to mention. That was like their poker guy in between, leading up to Rogue One. I don't know if he was an actor or one of the rebel guys that was sacrificed during that whole movie. Let me know in the comments down below. It's been literally a decade since I've seen this movie, so my apologies in advance for that, if anything else. Outside of that, yeah, it's still cool. Tudyk looked like he went back into the world like it was nothing, went into the mocap work. I highly recommend, honestly, the behind the scenes Star Wars themselves had, because the farewell speeches they had for each other behind the scenes wise is probably more hurtful than what a lot of people are going to talk about. Unfortunately, I did not finish Kind of Funny's screencast of their thoughts of the series finale, but from what I've seen, the highlights of it is a lot of glowing recommendations, a lot of glowing positive vibes, myself here included, so this might actually be the shortest wrap-up season review I might be doing, so who knows. But outside of that, let's get to Diego Luna himself. How did he do for these last 3 episodes as Andor? Pretty damn good. You can see the tight quarter spot, everything was set in Coruscant. Long story short there, as far as the location goes. Another big shout out I want to say for Tony Gilroy and the crew, essentially, is that no two episodes are alike. I know this was in 3 episode chunks, but the same case can be said also in the first season as well, because they didn't shoot it in the volume. It wasn't all just Tatooine vibes. It was, yeah, there was some I forgot Saul's plan. My apologies for that movie. It's been a minute. But yeah, there were shades of it too. There were shades of like characters that do look like they can survive in universe post the original trilogy. And yeah, you could definitely tell, especially for Maud Conson, who I thought was gonna bite it before these last 3 episodes, but turns out her partner was the other way around. But yeah, understandable of anything else. I think in her actor's case, Maud Conson's partner, I think she's in the current episode so far for Shooty's era of Doctor Who, so I'll probably do a bonus review of that of anything else later down the road this summer, since we got a lot of time and a lot less movies, weirdly. But yeah, I'm generalizing the spoilers because I really want you guys to see it yourself, especially if the last shot of the movie, sorry, I was gonna say, well, it is a last shot from the series going into Rogue One, the movie. It's really nice. It's a long, haunting walk. You can see the confidence in Cassian finally after all the things he's been through, and a lot of the weird, like, out of whatever, like moments he was doing in the movie now kind of has a greater context with the series now, because he's like, oh no, he would backstab a fellow rebellion. Oh, he would actually sell intel all over the place. He would basically just move up the ladder just to, like, survive another day, not for, like, money or greed or anything like that, because that's how it was in that timeline of the Empire leading into the original trilogy. So, outside of all of that, I got nothing other than glowing recommendations. This is a 10 out of 10 Star Wars I have not seen since a good long time. I'm gonna be real with you. It has the least amount of homework to work off of. I think the only thing I had to do was remember the Gold Leader stuff in the middle half of the season, because I think Bear Courtney said it himself in the screencasts, that there was some stuff happening in Rebels that they had to cover for the W for Cassian's not capture, rescue for Maud going into that original series. So again, there's some greater context to it. So again, like always, I'll go to the cards, and probably that's gonna be last cards for that as well. So, with the score out of the way, what did you think of this series? Sorry, again, for generalizing. It's pretty late here, and I'm kind of, like, off the cuff. But before I get to the end cards, I want to get to some retro recommendations. Like I said, when I did the bulk of Andor Season 2's episodes last week, I basically mentioned that I was finishing, I think, Jedi Survivor at the time. Finished it, beat it. Wow, that was a really good ending. It's very hopeful for what it was. I have a lot to say about Cal's decisions with Bodhi. If you know, you know, for Bode. And there's ties to it. If there was a third game there, he's trying to, like, probably get into a darker side, maybe Starkiller stuff. For that kind of gameplay would be really cool. If Respawn could pick up a third game, I would be all in for that. Also, ultimately, aside from my generalizing, that might be a preview to hopefully a double review next week in the lead up to Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. That is not the only movie tie-in game I have been playing lately as of this week. I highly recommend, not only, like I said, with Jedi Survivor, but I highly recommend, if you're new to this, if you're new to my channel, we've covered this franchise before, very, very early on in the infancy of RetroKid reviews, RoboCop, more specifically, Rogue City. It is really cool. It's the same development team that did Terminator Resistance. I talked about that, I think, when I was doing my retro review for the 40th anniversary of RoboCop. It's not RoboCop. Terminator last year in the lead up to Zero. So again, go to that review as well. And with the plugs kicking off, again, before I get to the end, guys, I just want to say this is a great Star Wars. If you are hung up on, like, the shows and stuff like that, Andor as a whole and just Rogue One is a good piece of Star Wars on its own, and leading into a decent movie finally. Now, with that all finally said, and I think even my screensaver saying, hey, wrap it up. End cards finally coming up here to, not at all a bunch of blasters, and here, to sub the channel, hit the notification bell down below, and obviously previous video as well, which was, of course, last week's video talking about the bulk of shows I've been catching up on. This will hopefully be the last of it, because next week is definitely going to be, hopefully I have recommendations. If not, I'll leave it in the shorts, and, definitely, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning out hopefully next week. Shirt here, speaking of, to sub to the channel, hit the notification bell down below, and community post will be when you sub now. So basically you'll see if I got to see the last great venture of Ethan Hunt or Tom Cruise biffing it with the box office. Who knows? Speaking of, I'll probably do an update or non-spoiler short here as a last hands here to talk about that. So with that all being said, take care, subscribe, may the force be with you, and wow, what a good Star Wars for once in a long time. Unless we talk about, I don't know, Book of Boba Fett, all the other shows that these guys don't like to talk about. Oh, and speaking of Skeleton Crew, by the way, still love that kid, by the way, more or less.